Hello, I am Cathartic Psychic Healer, and this is a general reading for Leo for August 2018. This is a general reading for Leo for August 2018. If your sun, moon, or rising sign is Leo, this reading is for you. Please comment, like, subscribe, let me know what's going on, and also share. Okay, Leo. Informally, I see some loss in money, some loss in things that you had control of as far as your career is concerned. Right now, it's not looking like things are looking maybe out of your jurisdiction. Maybe you guys are feeling like you're lacking the skill that you once had, or maybe you're like in between, like honing those skills and trying to get those skills back to where you need them to be. Um, this topsy turvy type of thing going on in your career is really starting to affect your spirituality, and and it's affecting your emotional state. You don't know which actions to take in order to move to the next step. So the first card you have is the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles represents a greedy, narrow-minded individual, someone who is lazy and careless, failure as a result of these shortcomings. Maybe you guys were looking for an immediate job, like maybe something that's unconventional or something like that, instead of, or maybe you guys have lost a job and it's starting to affect you. The King of Pentacles represents a brutal, materialistic person, corrupt and vicious personality. Guard your earthly possessions because you're going to lose these earthly possessions like money. I'm getting like pendants and jewels and things from the earth. And every card that has a pinnacle is being held, but when everything comes in reverse, that means you dropped it, you lost it, somebody stole it from you, it was taken out of your possession. You have the King of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles upside down in reverse. And if you can see, like all are holding a pinnacle. However, they're upside down, which means gravity, of course, means you dropped it, you lost it, and it's not in your possession anymore. Um, the King of Pentacles in reverse represents a brutal, materialistic person, corrupt and vicious personality. So maybe it could have been someone who was a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus that you may have been dealing with, or it could just be in your career or your career aspect of life right now in the month of August. Next, you have the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles represents an unrealistic person, failure to recognize facts, illogical thinking, a situation beyond normal control, irrational news. Um, and the Page of Pentacles is this. I feel like maybe you guys have been dealing with an Earth sign who you're hoping to be with, but your perception of this type of relationship is not a real. It's not a practical It's not real. It's not. It's making you to think illogically, and it's not really working in your favor. Um, Maybe you found out something that is not worth dealing with. Maybe you found out this person is actually playing both sides or something like that, or cheating, or not being faithful. Next, you have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is a destruction of a creative venture, consequences of actions not fully understood, anger, possibly the ending of a certain physical state, or instead of illness, recovery from illness. So, whatever is going on in your career or with this earth sign is actually hindering you from actually creating. For those of you who are, uh, or it's hindering your work in the world as far as like what you love to do in the world. I think of the Pentacles as an actual career. Think of the Wands as actual what you love to do. You know what I mean? Like whether it pays you or not. And I feel like, you trying to be unrealistic is actually not being, it's not practical. And all your earth elements came up upside down. So you're not being practical because maybe you want something that is unrealistic, whether it's in your career or your relationship or life in general. And it's putting your creativity on pause, and you're not even understanding yourself or your actions, and it could lead to anger. You're not being who you actually are because of the situation. Next, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So maybe some of you have been dealing with someone who is insecure, who's been, or maybe you guys have been feeling like fearful of failure, given to moodiness. Someone who overcompensates for inadequacies by spending too much money. Someone who will marry for money. Um, Someone who is materialistic, who is fraudulent, and who will switch up on you. So if you guys are being, this materialistic person, if you're actually doing this, it's actually you're gonna end up hurting yourself because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses and trying to have this unrealistic relationship or this unrealistic perception of life that just is eventually going to catch up to you. Next, you have the Magician. The Magician in reverse is not using. The Magician holds every suit in his hand. He has the wands, the cups, the pentacles, and the swords. So all of your gifts, all of your elements, everything that you are capable of doing, you're not using it. You're like pushing it aside and not using it. And when you do use it, you're using it in a way that's you're misusing the power. You're using it for evil, and you're using it for personal gain, which is going to hurt other people. It's not. You don't want this to go on because when you act like this, it's going to come back to bite you, and you don't want to misuse your own power or abuse your power because there's always someone else who's going to override you, or there's always going to somebody else that can abuse you or misuse their power against you or your word against theirs, and you don't want that. And it's not about that. It's actually about you using your creativity and your talents, whether it's helping people, whether it's within the arts, whether it's to heal people or anything like that. You got to use that for good and not for evil, because it'll come back to bite you. It definitely will come back to bite you. Next, you have the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups and Cups represents love relationships, Pisces, Scorpio, and or Cancer. The Six of Cups is very interesting because it says dreams and their offerings are now being presented, but the mature individual must be responsible for his or her emotions. So, whatever loss that you experienced, you shouldn't. You can't be. Now's not the time to be immature about it. You just have to accept the loss, whether you lost something, something was taken from you, stolen from you, whether you lost a job. You just have to be mature about it and understand that things happen. You know, it just happened. You didn't want it to happen. Nobody wants that to happen, but life is bittersweet, and you must be mature about it. And how you react to this loss is definitely going to be um, the outcome of like, is it going to be worse or better? If you react immaturely, obviously it's going to be worse. If you react maturely and humbly, then it'll turn over for the better, and it won't be as long and it won't be as long and hard road as you think it would be. But when you just act mature about it and accept certain things that you can't control, you will be fine. So emotional adjustments must be made to fulfill those desires. Let me do a clarification. I want to see a clarification. Spirit, offer me clarification for Leo. Leo, please comment. Please let me know what's going on. A lot of you are stable and courageous people. Obviously, Leo represents courage. A lot of you are actually stable and just like Earth signs, you are stable, especially ambitious Taurus and goal-oriented Capricorn, and Virgo, who can plant the earth in abundance and preserve things for later. But Leos are very tactical. Leos are very smart. You know what I mean? They have a system about the way that they do things. But I feel like this loss may make you not be yourself during this process. So Spirit, please offer me insight. Give me clarification on Leo. So the Eight of Cups, this card indicates the need for emotional regeneration. So whatever you've lost, you know what I mean? Like it's maybe you guys it's been really affecting you, and you need to be regenerated emotionally. You're dissatisfied, and you want to abandon the old for the new. You have to actually abandon the old for the new. Disappointment with results of efforts, or with the way children, and I'm not even getting. It could be children, it could be friends, it could be relationships. Cups represent all of that. So maybe you're disappointed with friends. You know what I mean? Maybe you can't, or relationships, a relationship that you have with these people, or a relationship as far as a lover is concerned. Um, so maybe you feel alone, but you prideful Leo is not going to say, "Hey, I feel alone." You know, maybe that's why you're acting this way. But that is my message to you, Leo. So pay attention to yourself and understand that things are not happening because people don't want to be around you, or don't think that the universe hates you because maybe you've lost a job or something like that. Don't think that. Just go with it. Enjoy life. Look at it as a blessing in disguise, because a lot of you were probably burnt out anyway. So please let me know what's going on, Leo. And I wish you the best. I love you, Leos. You guys are so strong, and you guys have the biggest hearts. And um, we need you, Leos. So uh, I love you. Take care. Please comment, like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, Leo.